Before an ex comes back, there are usually signs. It's very rare that an ex all of a sudden pops up one day and wants you back. Today, I'm going to break down the top 5 signs that show your ex may still have feelings for you and may even want to rekindle things with you. So whether you're looking for closure or hoping for a second chance, stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know what to watch out for. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And welcome back, my beautiful no-contact army. Have you been a good little soldier? Well, if you have, and you've downloaded my app Silencio, then you have given me either a review or a rating in the App Store or on Google Play. And if you too would like to join our beautiful no-contact army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. And by the way, before I get started, I want to give you an update on my client who I talked about last week in my video titled, Warning, This Will Make You Break No Contact. He still has not heard from his ex, and it's been 2 weeks since he left her the letter, pouring out his feelings. He did hear from her daughter, who now told him that he needs to call because his mother is afraid of getting rejected. Well, too bad. This is crazy. He left her a letter saying that he wasn't cheating and still had feelings, and she still has not reached out. So either she's playing him or the daughter is doing this behind her mother's back. But I will keep you posted as to the developments on that story. Okay, so the first sign that your ex eventually will come back is that they are confused about their decision or about your behavior. And this looks like asking you a lot of questions. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Who's that person? What does this mean? They want to make themselves feel more secure about their decision, meaning it's now your job to make them feel insecure about their decision so that they will rethink and decide that they want you back. You want them to think that maybe they made a mistake. And they can't do that if you keep reassuring them, as most of you want to do. You think you have to be nice and polite to get them back, but all you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot. Remember, when it comes to getting an ex back, it's usually counterintuitive. So don't do what you feel like you should be doing, i.e. reaching out, and do what you don't think you should be doing, which is ignoring them unless they say something significant. Now, if they broke up with you because you needed to change your behavior, if they ask how are they supposed to trust that you've changed, you can respond with, well, you can't know until we start dealing with each other again, but I think you can probably see in my energy and in my actions over the past X number of weeks, days, however long it's been, that I'm not the same person I was before. I've been doing a lot of work on myself. Tell them about some of the things you've done, the books you've read, that you worked on yourself not to get them back, but because you want to grow as a person. And the truth is, they can never really know that you've changed until you're triggered and you don't react in the same way that you used to. One of my clients, one of the reasons his ex broke up with him was because he was too jealous. He worked on that, and when they got back together, she would test him and try to push those buttons, but there was no reaction. This is why instead of sitting around being upset about the breakup and about being in no contact, you should be working on yourself so that if you do get the chance to get your ex back, you'll present the new improved version of you 2.0. Otherwise, what's to stop them from breaking up with you again if the issue hasn't been resolved, right? The second sign is that your ex is angry. And they're not angry because you won't leave them alone and stop contacting them. You've left them alone, but they're still angry. And one of my clients recently heard from his ex after 6 months of no contact. He was a good little soldier. And boy, was his ex angry. And I wish I could tell you what she said after I told him what to respond to her first message, but I can't because the situation is ongoing. But once this has been resolved, I will definitely tell you because it's so funny. But I can tell you that it was a very nice, calm response, and that made her even angrier. So that tells me she still has feelings for him after 6 months. And as I mentioned in a previous video I did titled What to Do If Your Ex is Angry, and I'll put the link in the upper right hand corner on YouTube, it's actually a good sign if they're angry. It's a very bad sign if they're apathetic and couldn't care less and are not reaching out. So don't be scared when you see that your ex is angry. If they weren't interested in you, they would not be angry. Think about it. Think about an ex from the past who you're totally over. Did you get angry at them once you were over them? Well, maybe if they owed you money or something and wouldn't give it back. But other than that, once you're over someone, you couldn't care less what they do or don't do, who they're dating, how much they've leveled up, etc., etc. So your ex may be angry because you've been in no contact and they thought you were going to chase them, and now you've hurt their ego and their sense of self-worth, which I suspect is the case with my client's ex. Or maybe they're angry because you've actually made the changes that they asked you to make, but you're no longer together. Or maybe they're angry because they see you being happy and they secretly hope that your life would go downhill after they broke up with you. Yes, I know, it happens. Or maybe they're angry because you leveled up and you look great and now they're missing out. See, there's a lot of reasons why an ex could be angry. So if your ex is angry, don't worry. It's a great sign. And by the way, if you're finding this video helpful, be sure to share it so that we can give other people hope that their ex will be back. The next sign that your ex will eventually come back is that they stay in touch. They want to talk to you. They want to be friends. So their interest level isn't yet high enough for them to want to come back, but they don't want to totally lose you from your life. And this is a good sign, because if they were totally done and their interest level was very low, they wouldn't want to have anything to do with you. So if they keep reaching out, even though you stay in no contact and don't respond, that's a good sign. Even though you're rejecting them, they're not giving up. If they didn't care, they would not be contacting you. And by the way, if you are in touch with your ex and you want to throw them a curveball and find out how they really feel about you, I have a little trick for you. Tell them that you're thinking of moving out of town. And make sure you do this in person or over video so that you can see their eyes. And what you're looking for is a look of shock and panic. So let's say you live in the continental USA. Say that you're thinking of moving to Alaska. If you're in Europe, mention another country in Europe which isn't close to where you are. If you're in Australia, mention a city that's on the other side of the country. I know Australia is a big country. Or even say you're considering moving to the US. If they try to talk you out of it, if they try to tell you why it's not a good idea, along with a panicked look on their face, that's a great sign. If they just say, oh, okay, nice, that's not a good sign, unless they're bluffing. So keep in mind that if they are talking to you, it's a good sign. If they're trying to talk to you, it's a good sign. And especially if they are bringing up memories that you share, trips, inside jokes, concerts you attended, etc., etc. They're still interested and may eventually come back. The next sign is our old friend jealousy. They're jealous about who you're seeing and or what you're up to. Now, this can be confusing because they broke up with you and now they're jealous. It doesn't make sense, right? Well, it actually does make sense. People's feelings don't immediately go away just because they broke up with you. Jealousy means that they still feel an emotional connection to you, otherwise they wouldn't care. Maybe it's because they never expected you to move on so quickly after they broke up with you. Or they thought you'd be heartbroken and they could get you back whenever they wanted. They may not have consciously thought this, but they definitely assumed it. Everyone assumes it when they break up with someone. It's like, yeah, I can get them back anytime. But now you've flipped the tables and they feel as if they were dumped. And this is why before you ever break up with someone, you need to ask yourself if you're prepared for any consequences that may come up as a result of the breakup. Are you prepared to never hear from them again? Are you prepared for them to block you and to never see their social media again? Are you prepared for them to quickly start dating someone else? And if you're not, then you may want to rethink breaking up with them, at least for the moment. So that's something to keep in mind in the future. And sometimes the jealous ex is going to cave in and ask you to get back together just to prevent you from moving on. Sneaky, sneaky. So jealousy is a great thing. This is why I recommend the 2-drink trick after a minimum of 30 days of no contact. You're going to post a photo or a video of 2 drinks together, and you want to tag the location, which will either be a restaurant or a bar. And I did see a twist on the 2-drink trick recently, and that is a girl. She took a picture of the drink, but she held it up so that she covered the face of the guy who was across from her. So you can see she's on a date, but you can't see his face because of the drink. And I posted it in my community tab last week on YouTube, so be sure to check it out. And if they're trying to make you jealous, that's fine. Again, if they didn't care, they would not be trying to make you jealous. So don't get played. Don't take the bait and get reactive and leave a message like, "Oh, I can't believe you moved on that fast. Did you ever really care about me?" Stop it. Be cool as a cucumber. Yes, sometimes they're trying to get revenge and hurt you, but even that shows that they're still emotionally invested. And then finally, the 5th and final sign is that they are being unusually nice to you and often have a big smile when they see you. Now, this of course only applies if you're in contact with them for some reason. Either you have children together, a business together, things to wrap up after the breakup, you work in the same place. Yes, they could be doing it out of guilt, but it could also be because as time goes by, they're having second thoughts and they realize that maybe they made a mistake. They don't want to come right out and say it, so they're hoping that by being nice to you, you'll get the hint and make a move so they don't have to risk getting rejected. And some of you will fall for it. But of course, don't do that unless you cheated or took your ex for granted. They broke up with you, so they need to put things back together. Okay? So obviously, the more of these signs that you get, the higher the chances of getting your ex back. So now I want to hear from you. How many of these signs have you seen from your ex? And how is no contact going? Hopefully you've seen one or more of these signs. And if you would like my help to get your ex back, you can contact me at theartoflove.net and we will send you the rates. The direct link is below every single video and podcast. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please rate and review. And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.